Up next on the call, Alcorn State University head coach Jay Hopson. Alcorn State defeated Southern University 44-38 in overtime. Coach Hopson, are you with us?
Yes.
Coach, can you talk a little about your game against Southern and preview this week's matchup against Alabama A&M?
Yeah, the Southern game was certainly an exciting game. We back and forth ball game. We kind of jumped up on them and had some good things going. I thought offensively and defensively in the first half were playing well. We had two major kicking errors in our punting game, and then the third quarter, Southern made a charge in early fourth, and they got ahead, and then we came back and got ahead, and Southern kicked a field goal at the end of regulation, and just a hard-fought game. Coach Odoms does a great job down there. It was just a true battle, and in overtime we were fortunate enough to get a pick, and then Arnold made a really good run in that first overtime to win the game. But again, a hard-fought win against a very, very good opponent. And this week we have Alabama A&M, another team we respect a lot. Hard-nosed football team. Coach Jones does a great job over there. And so we got to be ready to play on Saturday.
We will now open the call for questions for Alcorn State University head football coach Jay Hopson. A reminder to hit *6 to unmute your phones if you have a question. Questions for Coach Hopson. Coach, what do you credit your this season, looking back at last season, your first year, what do you credit some of the success you've been having this season to?
Well, I think last week that's kind of what I said. We had a spring and we're able to spend some time with these guys. I think they're much more familiar with our system and what we want to do. Last year was kind of tough. They didn't know a play until August 5th. So, it was kind of hard to get everything going early. But, again, it's guys have played together. We played a lot of freshmen last year. We're still largely a freshman-sophomore team, so we got a decent junior class, and we only have, I think, 5 seniors. So, these guys have played. We were really kind of young last year, and we're still fairly young this year, but just guys having a chance to play together. I think, it's like anything else in life. The more you do it, the better you get. And so I think these guys are getting a little bit more experience, and they've played a lot of football together now, so that's always a positive.
Questions for Alcorn State head football coach Jay Hopson.
Coach, when you look at Alabama A&M, I know their defense has been really good. Offense has kind of sputtered at times. What do you see from both sides of the ball from them?
Well, like I said, they're a physical, well-coached football team. Coach Jones and his staff do a great job, and they're a team that plays hard every Saturday. And it's a deal where they certainly have our attention, and they've got our utmost respect, and we just know. They're going to be a team that plays for 60 minutes, and we got to be ready to play on Saturday.
If I'm not mistaken, I think they were 6-0 or something like that when you guys went down and beat them in Huntsville last year. Was that a turning point for where you guys are at now? That game, that win against them last year?
I don't think so. That was a hard fought game. I think because heck, the next week we lost. So it was. It was just, football's a different battle each week, and you have to prepare each week and get ready, for the next opponent, and that's just kind of how this game is played out. And I think that, we know it'll be a hard fought game, and like I said, it's the next week, and like every other coach, you know what I'm saying, we're getting ready for the next opponent, and that's the beautiful thing about football.
The call is still open for questions for Alcorn State University head football coach Jay Hopson. Coach, with such a turnaround from a year ago and where you are in the standings, have you and your staff or even some of the players noted looking at the standings and still having an opportunity to play in this year's championship?
Well, it's one of those things where, you know, I think that's human nature. People look at that, but we've got to be good as a staff, and we've got to be good as a team to realize we have one game. You know, we've got to be ready for Alabama A&M. We can't look ahead to anything because that's when you get in trouble. And you know, all our focus and all our attention, you know, take it week by week, and you know, it is kind of like playoff football. You know, you just got to focus in on the next opponent, and that's the only way you get to where you want to go. If you start putting attention ahead of that, then you get yourself in trouble. So all we're focusing on is Alabama A&M and you know, just our next opponent.
We still have time for one more question for Alcorn State head football coach Jay Hopson. Reminder to hit *6 to unmute your phones and to mute your phones. Coach, could you analyze the production of your offense, looking at Gibbs Jr. and Walker, and how they've steadily, looking at the statistics, if anybody's been watching your team, how they've managed to improve week after week?
I think they're both, like I said, I think John is really just really right on track to where we want to be. He's maturing every week, and I think Arnold is, you know, I don't ever worry about number one getting off the bus ready to play football. You know, I mean, he'll be ready, and he's a young man that plays with a extreme heart and determination, and just I mean, I could sit here for 35 minutes and just sing his kudos. He's just a great athlete, plays hard, runs hard, a competitor, and you know, he's one of those guys, and he's closing in. Hopefully, he's closing in on our all-time rushing record. So hopefully, he can, you know, continue to have some good games. But he's definitely a young man that does things right on and off the field, and just a true asset to the program.